It's hard to build momentum if you keep dividing your attention. When you work in healthcare, you can create a great income for yourself that will propel you into financial freedom very quickly. And yet, I see too many people who work in healthcare who approach retirement with a lot of regret about past mistakes that they made and disappointment about where they are financially at the moment. And so, I want to talk about the biggest threat to your progress and what you can do to start getting traction today. Now, I want to speak a little bit from personal experience, just to show that I totally get this insight. It applies to me, and I've seen this at work in my own life. When I changed careers myself in 2020, I started two businesses at the same time, and I did that for a couple of years until I felt like I was riding two different horses that were going in two different directions. And all along the way, I was distracted. I wasn't focused. I was wasting really a lot of time and energy and money when I could have made a lot of progress. And so I finally got to the point where I had to just look at what was working, decide, hey, you know what? I need to shift my focus here and double down on what was working for me. So I've seen this from personal experience that, when your attention is not concentrated, you just don't ever have enough time to get everything that you want done. But when you are focused on the most important thing, then you'll find that there is actually a lot of time available for you. Now, to kind of drive the point home a little bit further, there was a TIA study from 2024 that looked at the state of retirement readiness specifically for healthcare workers. And one of the interesting points that I pulled out of that study was that 23% of the sample said that they had student loan debt. Now, out of that group, 70% of them said that they were saving less for retirement than they otherwise would have because of those student loan payments. And then you add in the mortgage, add in car loans, boat loans, credit cards, timeshares, everything else, you name it. And your paycheck is basically evaporating faster than you can earn the money. So in general, of course, they also found that workers who have a lot of debt, they also more often tend to take hardship withdrawals and loans from their 401k, dipping into those accounts because obviously they don't have much in the way of savings outside of that, but they're more likely to dip into their nest egg to pull money out to pay for those unexpected expenses. Now, it's tempting to think that you can earn your way out of the hole. And that's part of the problem with having a great income, because you're thinking to yourself, hey, I got a great job with great pay. And the problem is that you end up getting addicted to the paycheck. And what I mean by that is you see that the regular paycheck allows you to really leverage it to spend at a level that you really can't keep up forever. And it's like getting a bailout every 2 weeks. And what happens is, or you should ask yourself, what happens if the paycheck goes away before you've had a chance to clean up the financial mess and really start to get back on track with building up your nest egg? So if cash flow is your attention, think of debt and expenses as the distractions. And keep in mind that your income, remember, your income is your main wealth building tool. This is what's going to get you to retirement. This is what's going to get you to financial freedom. And the more debt and expenses that you have, the more it's diluting your income, diluting those dollars and not making them go far. It's almost kind of like a focus inflation, right? So what can you do to undivide, your attention and start to build momentum? One piece of advice I will give is resist the temptation to try to multitask and do a lot. What you focus on is what you win at. And my clients and I, we've used the baby steps framework as a great guide to help achieve that financial freedom and that financial peace of mind. And the way it works for most people is it starts with killing off the consumer debt. That is everything that's other than the mortgage. Then what you do is you start to build a 6-month emergency fund of savings in the bank, and then you go on the offense. And this is where you put 15% of your income towards retirement. You start to put extra payments down on the mortgage. And if you have kids at home, then you put a little money away for college or for a kind of future fund that you want to use to help them as when they come of age. Now, the study that I mentioned earlier, it validates this process because it shows that it's easier to save more when you don't have those debt payments soaking up your income. And like I mentioned before, your income is your main wealth building tool. So when you don't have debt payments, you can invest more for retirement. When you have an emergency fund in place, you have a buffer against those unexpected expenses, which means now you're not having to dip into your 401k in order to get money that you need. And that means that you're not going to waste years of progress saving in that vehicle for retirement. You can keep making that progress along the way, even as you have these, kind of unexpected emergencies. Plus, as you keep working this process of building up that savings, eliminating the debt, concentrating your income so that you can really leverage time to your side and your investments and compounding interest to really build up your net worth, the more margin that you start to build into your finances, because you have a paycheck now instead of payments, and soon you're starting to build up savings. So you build up more margin, you build up more stability in your finances, you build in less dependence on that paycheck, and you put yourself in a much more resilient place. And you're gonna have more peace of mind, and you're gonna be able to sleep better, knowing that you have enough money in the bank there to kind of give you that confidence. And it's a kind of like a flywheel that spins faster and faster as you keep applying that discipline and tenacity to keep moving in that direction. So resist the temptation to try to do a lot. It's not that we don't want to accomplish all those goals, but what you want to do is focus as much of your time, your resources, your money, your energy on the most important goal right now, and then hammer that and keep hammering away until you accomplish that goal, and then move to the next thing. Planning your retirement is something that ideally you're only going to go through once in your life. Now, I've been through this process with many employees, so I know what it looks like from beginning to end and how to get through it successfully. So if you know someone that is at that point where they're thinking about putting in that 90-day notice to retire, but they don't know where to start, well, there's a link in the description to a mini book that I put together to guide you through that process. And then you can check out this video that we're going to link to here that walks you through the 5 necessary steps that you need to complete in order to retire successfully. Thanks.